What's up everybody? My name is Sydney Baker Green and you guys just got to see some of the footage, the test footage from the DJI Mavic 2 Pro. I am absolutely in love with this drone. Before we even get into this review, I just want to say I'm definitely switching from the Mavic 1. That being said, because this video is in 1080p, I have supplied you guys with all of those test clips at my store. They are absolutely 100% free, and you guys can also download the LUT that I used to create all of those color grades. That is available in my store as well. The link is in the description below, and stay tuned for a video on how exactly I color grade the DJI Mavic 2 Pro footage. That being said, I'm about to supply you guys right now with the times so you can switch to where you guys want to go in this review. Simply take one of these times that you'll see right now on the screen, move it into the time code to go to the section of the review you want to go to. Thank you for coming to the review and enjoy. Welcome to my bedroom office, folks. Let's get right into it and unbox this thing. How does this thing work? Okay, there we go. By the way, this is the nicest I've ever unboxed something for the sake of the YouTube video, because normally I would definitely just rip this box apart. I got this from Amazon. I did not order directly from DJI because last time I did, it took 4 years to get here. And it comes in some nice wrap. Throw that over there. And here is the beautiful box this thing comes in. We don't need that. I'm just gonna get a nice slit on the plastic. Take that off. Yeah, that. We don't need that. Okay, so it looks like this thing slides out like so. It's in this little, oh, there's another little protective film. It says to open to, yeah, too impatient. Yeah, I am struggling with this box, y'all. Come on. There we go. Okay, that takes some force. Awesome. Okay. Oh yeah, it's definitely the Mavic 2 Pro. So inside, we have the Mavic 2 Pro. Right off the bat, I can tell this bad boy is a little bit heavier. It definitely feels more premium. That's one thing I'm liking about it. And then it comes with the controller. Now off the bat, I can already tell this controller feels, again, a lot more premium than the first DJI Mavic Pro controller for sure. I really do like that. It looks like these the thumb controllers do come off, so it's easier to store, which is one thing that I do like, because that was always a hard thing to do when I just threw this thing in my camera bag in a lens compartment or something like that. So that's another nice feature that I'm liking off the bat. Looks like this little box has all of our cable accessories that we will need to plug it into our phone from the side of the controller, which is awesome. We have some instructions in here that we'll probably never read. Pretty sure that's what this is. Yet we have instructions, and then we have our propellers as well. So if you want your propellers, you need to open up this box. It's not just the instructions. And then in this box, I'm pretty sure that this is the charger. Yep, this is going to be your Mavic 2 Pro charger. So let's get into the pros and cons of this thing. All right, guys, let's talk about those pros and cons, shall we? Now, first of all, this drone is just absolutely amazing. It has blown my mind. One of the things that I want to talk about that I didn't mention in the unboxing is the charger. So like I said, DJI has been going mad with the attention to detail, and I noticed that there is a little cable that attaches in the charger that you can store right here to charge the remote control. This is absolutely genius. It makes having to carry around a lot less cords and a lot easier. Another thing I want to talk about was the remote control. I have used the spare remote control tips on my Mavic Pro, but there are some that are conveniently located in here for storage so that you never lose them. I kind of thought about that, like, ooh, having these removable would make it a lot easier to lose them. So if you remember to put them in here, then you're golden, or if you just keep them on your drone as well, you're also golden. Let's start off with the color range on this drone and the dynamic range. It looks like Phantom 4 Pro footage. It absolutely blew my mind the moment that I turned on this drone and started recording, and then when I got it back into post-production, that 100 megabit per second H.265 codec really allows you to bring back
either underexposed shots and overexposed shots, and it also allowed me to shoot at high day. That last clip that you guys saw was high noon, and I was amazed at not only the dynamic range, but also the color reproduction that the drone was able to capture within post-production. Loved it. Another thing that I really like about the Mavic 2 Pro is the gimbal itself. The gimbal feels rock solid. I remember I had to send my DJI Mavic Pro, the original one, back into DJI because I had what is called a gimbal overload error. And with that gimbal overload error, basically the gimbal was so fragile that some cord on the inside came unloose and it didn't allow the gimbal to calibrate in the beginning. So although nothing was blocking the gimbal, it was overloading. You could smell it burning, the motor in the gimbal, so it's just not good. But this gimbal feels solid. The drone footage is smooth, and boy is this drone fast. I know I sound like a DJI fanboy right now, and honestly, I really did not like the Mavic Pro because, let's be honest, although it was cool and the form factor was amazing, a lot of us were turned off by the fact that the DJI Mavic Spark had better image quality than the Mavic Pro itself. I mean, the images on the Spark looked amazing, and here I am with the Pro version of the drone that was copied from, and it looks like I have a cheap action camera. But the Mavic 2 Pro definitely, to me, is worth the upgrade if you have the Mavic Pro, simply because of the dynamic range, the color reproduction. Everything about this drone is amazing. Now, there are some cons. One of the features that I hate is missing from this drone is portrait mode. I don't think I've seen anybody talk about this, but you cannot take portrait photos as of now. I don't know if there's a firmware update that can take care of this or anything like that, but you can't take portrait photos with the Mavic Pro 2. So you are stuck with the landscape orientation when you're taking photos, which to me is kind of a bummer when I like to take photos specifically of Instagram, or when I like to get those nice vertical shots top down on the beach. It really doesn't work out, but like I said, I've gotten some cool photos with it already. I'm gonna also put those in the video download that you guys can go and grab, so you can see exactly how this drone works and how the photos look. And when you edit this footage, it's all shot in Dlog, and the Dlog profile again is amazing. The camera does not have that whole blurry thing that happens out, or that over sharpened look. That's all gone. They refined everything. Another thing I need to mention is this drone is a hell of a lot quieter. Oftentimes when I go out and fly on the beach or fly in public places, I get nervous because I know how loud it is. But honestly, once it was up in the air after takeoff, it was so nice to fly. Nobody really even heard it. I mean, yeah, you could hear the motors, but it sounded a lot quieter than some of the airplanes in the area, which is nice. Another feature that I really like about this drone is its advanced sensor system. So now you have omnidirectional sensing in all directions, the sides, the top, and the bottom on this drone. And let me tell you guys, as a pilot, I love obstacle avoidance, especially when flying. And it's weird because when you're in an airplane, you can see your obstacles coming, but to have something like a heads-up display tell you that this obstacle is either fine, you're safe, and you're clear is nice based off of the movements you're going. So not only does it detect based off of your descent rate if you're gonna hit this obstacle, but it also shows you obstacles that are found within the area on the app itself, and it shows you if you're going to clear it or not, which I think is amazing. It really made me feel safe while flying. It really made me feel like I was in control of the drone. If I have any grievance at all about this drone, it is the cables that they allow you to use when you connect it to your phone. Now, I'm complaining because I am an Android person. I don't really like iPhones that much at all. I used to have an iPhone, and it's nothing personally against them. I just like to customize my devices. So having the Galaxy S9 and trying to plug the S9 into here, the S9 Plus specifically, not only is it a large phone that's really hard for this controller to accommodate, but I was finding that when I was flying the drone, I had to go home from my shoot. Thankfully, I got there early when I was shooting on the beach and go get my phone cord so I can plug it in down here and then plug in my actual cord so I had a better connection. And furthermore, I just kept the thing closed and kept my phone on my lap while I was flying, which for some can be a turnoff. So know that if you do have the Galaxy S9 Plus, it is going to still be hard to use that phone on your DJI Mavic Pro controller, but I do not see that as really a killer towards this drone at all. I think it's something that can be improved on by DJI, but other than that, I mean, that's not gonna stop me from throwing this thing in my camera bag on every single trip. I mean, I've already been doing it with the Mavic Pro. I'm kind of used to it now. So again, it depends on how finicky you are, but if you really love this drone, you will completely overlook it. Another thing that I can say has improved dramatically over the Mavic Pro, which I know is only like 5 or 7, 8 more minutes, but it's the flight time and how well the battery handles even on standby. I know my Mavic Pro used to drain while it was just sitting there on, but I updated my Mavic 2 Pro and only lost about 5 or 10% of the battery, which still gave me enough time to go out and fly, which to me is amazing. I can tell that the battery is a little bit more intelligent, the way it responds in the air, so on and so forth. It's just an overall fun and enjoyable experience while flying this drone. So let's sum it up with this. Who is this drone going to be for? Well, I know now, since the Mavic 2 Pro has this great image quality, DJI is probably really going to step up their Phantom 5. That being said, as a traveling photographer and traveling cinematographer, in order for the Phantom 5 to capture my attention, it would have to be inspired to quality before I go out there and decide to drop money on that drone and ditch the Mavic 2 Pro. For the simple reason of when you're traveling as a photographer, you're going to want to be as light as possible and as portable. And I'm already about to sell the Ronin M because after 3 trips with that, it's just not for me. It's a great gimbal, but it's just too much gear to bring along on my trip. So what this comes down to for you guys to decide if you want to buy this drone is simply portability and the image quality, which nothing I have seen in the drone world matches. And this drone is so good, it makes me not even want to look at the Phantom 5. It would have to be some seriously good image quality for me to sacrifice portability and knowing that it's gonna be a hassle traveling with that big case with the Phantom 5 to move from the Mavic Pro 2. So if you're asking me if I should buy it, I definitely say go for it. This drone is just amazing. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, be sure to give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you already haven't, and turn on those post notifications so that you are always notified when I have new content coming out. Stay tuned on my channel for my color grading tutorial of the Mavic 2 Pro footage, where I will be using my Premiere series of LUTs to color grade all the footage from different times of the day, high noon to sunset, to overexposed and underexposed, to show you just how powerful this LUT is and the image quality of this drone is. Also be sure to head to my store and grab a copy of that footage so you can see how it works, as well as the raw photos I've provided in there as well. And also be sure to check out my LUT pack, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please be sure to follow me on my social media, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Twitter. Links are in the description down below, and thank you for watching. Remember, every day, airplanes take off against the wind. Live, love, laugh, stay inspired, and as always, stay fabulous. Peace out, folks. Destructo Disc! Let me stop with these Dragon Ball Z references.